Hi guys, welcome to another episode of Lads on the Trails. Today we've actually brought you back to Ratcliffe, and where we brought you is the Outward Trail, and we're going to explore some of the history around there today.
Are you ready for the next great adventure? Imagine a journey that takes you not just across miles, but through time itself. Each twist and turn of the track leads us deeper into the past. Each step we take is a step back in time. The air is thick with history, and the past lingers like a gentle breeze. We're not just walking, we're traveling through the very fabric of time itself.
Alright guys, we've brought you back to Outward Trail in Ratcliffe, and the reason that we've come here is because of the history around this particular area, and there's a lot more to it. Where we are now is what was known as the Clifton to Accrington line, and that way would have took you down to Clifton Junction in Victoria, and that way would have took you to Accrington and Bacup and everything like that. Now here, what we actually see is all remnants of a bridge, and I'll swing the camera around in a second, and basically above it on top here, what actually ran was the line to the colliery, which was just this way here. If we go up there, that's where it actually were. And then, like I said, this was the line which came across, and down that way would have been Kersley, and I think it might have connected to Bolton as well. So yeah, if we look up this way here, this is where it would have gone up to the colliery. As you can see, quite a steep incline there as well. And then, like I said, the line would have come in across over this bridge here, which, like I say, would have come from down that end there. So this is from the other side, so that way, which we're just facing now, will be going up to Accrington. But yeah, as you can see, the bridge would have come across there, and there's remnants of walling and everything here at the moment. And I'm just trying to work out them posts there, whether they would have been railway related, looking at the colourings of it and stuff like that. If you don't, like I say, the railway would have ran along here, and it would have been double tracked, and it, like I said, that way would have been to like Yukon, Accrington line, and then you would have come round this way, and that would take you down to places like Clifton Junction in Victoria. Now, if you haven't seen that video, we have done one on Clifton Junction, and on that video you can see the old remnants of the platform as well. So yeah, this section here, that's where it led up to the colliery, and it was called Outward Colliery. I'll try and get some maps overlaid into it and see if I can find any images as well. Like I say, you know, the line would have come down there and across there. So yes, there we go. But you can see how high up that would have gone over, because where we're coming to in a moment, it was like on a deep embankment. Like I say, it's Outward Country Park, I think they class it as where we are at the moment. Now, this was an important transport link between Manchester and the Lancashire towns of Accrington and Bacup. In 1847, the line opened here, and it connected from Accrington that way down to Clifton that way. And the platform, which is still here today, which you can see, which we'll take you down to shortly, it had a station there which would have been on this side, but on the south side it didn't actually have a station building. Now, it was nothing grand or anything like that. It was just a small building with a ticket office and maybe a waiting room area. And like I say, that's sat on the northbound, which is this side which we're on now. And the southbound basically had nothing on it. And yeah, you crossed over by, I forgot what they call them now. Basically little bits of wood which go across the track, and that's how you would have got to the other side of the platform. So people travelling from that way, from Accrington, from Lancashire down to Manchester, they would have had absolute stunning views, because just back up that way is actually a viaduct. Now, when it was originally built, that was like a timber structure, and then I think it was in 1881, was it, something like that? Yeah, 1881 I think it was. It was actually converted into a cast iron one. So yeah, what we'll do is when we go back that way later, because we've got to go that way, we'll try and get some like pictures and some video, but I don't know, because as you can see today it's snowy, so yeah, I don't know what it'd be like, because it is a real steep incline down, but if I can get down there, I'm going to get underneath and just maybe record some of the structure. So where we're coming up to now, guys, I'm just going to try and get through, some trees have fallen down and that, is actually Ringley Road train station. I'm going to see if I can get down a little bit more to come around. There we go. Oops, nearly slipped. So here we go, guys. This is Ringley Road train station. Just a shame that it's not a bit more clear. Like I say, trees have fallen down here. Whether that's been overnight or something, I'm not sure. But yes, Ringley Road train station, and what we're walking on now is the actual platform. So as I say, this opened in 1847, and it was opened by the East Lancashire Railway, and it would have been double tracked, as I say. So what we're stood on now is one of the platforms, and just down there would have been the other platform, and with the snow you could work out where the tracks would have been roughly, and then just down here would have been where the station building would have been. So I reckon it probably would have been around about this area here, and as you can see it's in a deep cutting as well. And the actual station building, it was actually made out of stone as well, and it was singled, like a single layer building. So like I say, it would have had a waiting facility, ticket room, and the colliery, which is back up that way, and that actually connected to here as well. So yeah, passengers would have come down the pathway there, and if they wanted a southbound platform over here, what they would have done is they would have crossed what's called a barrow. That's the name which we were trying to think of before. Yeah, so it's just like wood in between the tracks, and they would have crossed that way. So in May 1859, the Lancashire and Yorkshire Railway actually absorbed the East Lancashire Railway. So basically they took over the running of the East Lancs, and they took control of this line here. And the reason that they wanted to do that was to reduce the traffic on the heavily congested line, which was that way, over Whitefield and stuff. And obviously it was so that then they could run other services through here and not along the main line from Leeds and stuff like that. So in 1922, this actually became part of the London North Western Railway, so LNWR. And then no longer than a year later, it actually became part of the LMS. And in 1931, I think it was, the colliery, which was just up here, that actually employed over 2,000 men in the local area in its heyday. That actually ended up shutting due to a fire which damaged its winding gear. And in 1948, this actually became part of the British Railway, London Midland region, if I remember correctly. And then for a number of years it continued till about, I think it was 1955. Services continued here, but then short after, obviously it shut. I think it was in the December of that year. And if I remember correctly, passenger and goods services used to run through here, but nothing would actually stop here. And all that happened till about December of 1966, if I remember correctly. That was the last trains through here, you know, passenger services, goods services. Nothing existed thereafter. And as you can see today, all what's left is this platform. I know it's covered in with snow at the moment, but it is fantastic to see. So yeah, we'll just see whether we can see anything. As you can see, that wasn't the actual station, that. But I do wonder whether some of these bits may have been. Because if we come straight in here, you can see the brickwork there, and as I say, it was a single-storey brick building. So was that where it actually stood? Was this area here? To be honest, I think it would be, because there's the pathway. If I just walk down and just try and get behind this tree, you can just make out there the actual pathway where you would have come down, and then what you would have done, like I say, to cross over to the other side, you would have gone across a barrow there onto the platform, which would have been that side, and then you would have continued down there, and this would have been where the station building would have been. But yeah, I definitely think it was this area here. Just looking at some of that there. Yeah, I think this is where it was. Trying to think whether that might have been like a fire or something inside like the waiting area. Remember right as well, just down here there would have been another little slip, if you like, which went up that way as well. But yeah, it looks very pretty today. Very pretty. I'm going to try and get down and see where I can get some video footage off the platform for you. I don't know where you can make that out there, but that's like the slope down. Like I say, there's the pathway which you would have come down. We'll travel down that way in a minute. I'll show you the bridge and that. So yeah, you would come down here, and this is where you would have crossed to go across to the other platform. And yes, I'm going to see. There we go. And as you can see, there is the old platform, all the old stonework. It's amazing that this has just been left here. So yeah, we would have been on the track bed now, and like I say, over there would have been your other platform. There you go, you can see it now how it slopes down. Brilliant that that's still here though. So yeah, that would have brought you up from Ringley Road up there, and that's how you would have accessed it down to the station down here. And this is the way which you would have gone down, and the next station on from here would be Mollylucksbrow. I think that's how you pronounce it. And what we'll do is we'll do that one in another video, and then after that it would have been the 13 Arches, and after that it would have been Clifton Junction, where obviously services from this way, passengers like transferred there to go down to Manchester Victoria. Yeah, just looking around, and here we go, still some railway related furniture here as such. That says 7 on it. Yeah, I think that says 7 on it. What does it say on the other side? Yeah, 7 as well. So is that the miles or something? I don't know. If you do know, let us know. Doesn't seem to be anything else around here. So here we go, we come down now to the bridge. Trying to work out whether lines would have ran underneath. As you can see there, it's filled in. Would lines have ran underneath that way, or have they just filled it in just for strengthening the structure? Because it doesn't look like it's been rebuilt a little bit. But yeah, you would come that way there, and you would have already passed over the 13 Arches. Yeah, we found this some information on the mines here. Like I say, the mines would have been up that way, and it was called Outward Colliery, and it was part of the Irwell Valley Vault. That was extensively mined for over 100 years. It opened in 1840, although there is evidence that the mine was sunk 10 years prior to that. It's also reported that the mine originally had 5 shafts, but on its closure, it was noted that only 3 remained active. And obviously, it was to export coal, and I believe it went by a tramway or by tram to 2 locations, and the first was to a depot on Outward Road, north of the country park, and the second was also by tram where it was loaded onto barges. And obviously that would have gone on the Manchester, Bolton and Bury Canal, if I remember correctly. So yeah, we're just walking up to where it would have been this station platform, and we've come like from the Manchester end, if you like. So yeah.
In 1879, a collier was arrested for assaulting his wife. At Ringley Road station, the collier was with the police officer at the time. The collier ran in front of the train, altering his death, but left the police officer with injuries. I think if I remember rightly, about 2021 was it, I think? We came down here with a group of friends and family, and we thought there's some paranormal stuff down here. During the day, we came down, did some stuff with Simon's sister, and then in the evening time we came back down again, and we saw some strange orange lights in the distance.